Lots of people. Oh, Allie, thank you so much. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Secondly, we have got from Park Lane, it's called the Pot of Gold drawing contest. Okay. So if you've missed this, let's draw your attention to it. In fact, I'm going to put on my Shamrock hat while I talk about this. So 17 names, in honor of St. Patty's Day will be drawn on March 17th. Okay. 17 names of people that have submitted 1,000 in sales the first 3 weeks of March. So that is going to take you guys to the 16th. How fun is that? That's so appropriate. So if you submit 1,000 in sales between, first week of March through the third week, the 16th, you're going to get entered into the Pot of Gold contest. With that contest, there are 8 designer handbags, Rebecca Minkoff, Kate Spade, Coach, and Michael Kors. I'm going to tell y'all, I got this idea from somebody. I did a engagement post in my VIP group. What was your favorite designer bag? Coach won. I was totally shocked. Coach was like the one. So anyway, maybe you guys all love Coach. So 8 bags, 3 $750 green and gold Park Lane jewelry collections. Okay, so they put together some collections worth $750. 4 genuine gemstone rings. Says cushion cut green topaz genuine diamonds set in 14 karat gold. That is fun. And then 2 $500 gift cards, Park Lane gift cards. Okay. So 1,000 in sales in the first 3 weeks. So type a 17 in the comments if you want to go for that. If you want to have at least 1,000, type a 17. Now, here's the deal. If you're a real smart cookie, and we are people, you would do 1,000 by the 9th. Because guess what? You're double dipping. You're getting the 250 in level 1, 250 and free for Rich Reward level 1, and you're guaranteeing yourself an entry into that drawing plus stacks, right? Okay. So that's what we've got going right there. All right. So there's that. There is also our Heart of Park Lane contest that is for anybody that promotes, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Was it February and March, right? Those 2 months, February, March.
I think there's 1 week
in January.
1 week, right, Tanya? The last week of January also, if your promotion hit that last week of January.
So then all of February, all of March to promote a level. If you promote somebody in your downline, then you both get entered for the 10 rings that will be given away, the garnet rings, which that's my birthstone. So that excites me. In addition to a Zoom with Scott, and please type in the comments the time of that Zoom. It's April, I don't want to say the date in case it's wrong. But somebody type it. And here's something I want you to know. I am a big believer, and I learned this from my pastor. When you hear something and then you physically make a motion or do something in response to that, it solidifies it more in your brain. So I want you to put this date, April 14th, on your calendar. Just put it on there because we all want to be on that call for the Heart of Park Lane promotion call with Scott. Getting on a call with Scott is just really special. He just nobody like that man. So put it on your calendar.
Put it on your calendar at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock Central Time. Manifest it. Don't put a party. That's always my issue. I put a party on that day. Okay, so there's that. We've got double bonus items, final week. Okay, final week for double zingers, final week for double thank you items for your hostesses. In addition, we've got our amazing Treasure Tribe merch that are already kind of, hit on. So I'm not going to hit on that again. 5,000, you get the hat. 10,000. Tish, since you're here, and maybe somebody answered Corey's question. Did somebody answer Corey's question for the sponsoring 2 people in order to get the second level, the sweatshirt and the hat? Is it sponsor and qualify?
Definitely. It's earn RRC level 4, which RRC level 4 is sponsor and qualify 2 people. So when you sponsor and qualify 2 people, you will earn an extra $300 in jewelry with RRC level 4, and you will earn the hat that Christy's wearing along with the sweatshirt.
And so they've got to qualify in March,
Yes,
which
they
is
have.
how our RC level 4 works. It's not
Yes.
in their 5 weeks. It's in that month.
Actually, I'm wrong.
Okay. They have
I'm
5 weeks to
totally wrong.
qualify.
They need to qualify in March. They need to qualify in March because you know what? RRC, they have their 5 weeks. I'm totally wrong. Just full disclosure,
Just ignore her. Even Tish is
Ignore-
wrong at times.
ignore what I said and is written on all of that because you're absolutely right. With RRC, they actually have their 5 weeks to qualify. Essentially, it is sponsor and qualify 2 people in March. So they have to
Okay.
join in March or start in March and qualify in March. And the reason I'm putting that sense of urgency on that is many of you want to go to Kona and you got to get people going. You got to get people going. You've got to get them qualified. You want to buy yourself 2 months of them doing parties where you can be earning points because that's working smarter because we want to get you to Kona. And many of you, we want to get you two people to Kona. So I'm just putting a little extra fire in you guys, like you can do it. And I know that you can. And there are so many reasons why starting now is better than starting later. And so it's sponsoring Qualify 2 in March.
And getting you promoted. That will also help you get promoted. You know, if you're a fashion director on this call and you want to get to branch and get that 5% pay raise, this is going to do it. So everything kind of ties together. They're all carrots to get stacks.
I'm sorry about that confusion. That's totally my bad.
Okay. And then anything else I am missing? There's a style drop that launched and the Nightfall baby signature bracelet. So spend $40 and they get it for 65 bucks. If you guys have the Nightfall bracelet, yeah, Tish is showing it. It's not just an impression bracelet. These bracelets, the detail on them. In fact, Angelin's on here. I remember when her mother bought one of these, it wasn't the baby version. We had a big girl version, or that's actually not a very good word, but like, you know, a grown-up version that was larger. Her mother literally said, this is the nicest fashion piece of jewelry I've ever had in my life. They are so gorgeous. So that's that. There's a style drop for that. Okay. Anything else we're missing? Tonight we have our Learn More About Park Lane in our Learn More About Park Lane group. There is at 6 o'clock, Tish, our fearless leader, is going to be doing the video to talk about life as a stylist. So please invite people, remind your people that are in the group. Again, this will help you in achieving all of these incentives, and people need us right now. So.
Tish, Christy, did you go over the first 2-week thing with Tish and submitting the 600 in two weeks in a row and what would her giveaway?
No, I didn't. Will you do that?
Tish, will you review that? Do you mind?
So she's getting the
So,
purse.
When you are submitting 600 in week 1 and 600 in week 2, you are entered to win this YSL bag. So this arrived on Monday. And I'm just telling y'all right now, this may be the most beautiful bag I've ever purchased. It's really, really, really that I've had here, that I've personally had here, because a lot of these bags I've just sent directly to people, but it's stunning. Okay. It is valued at $1,500. That's what I paid for this bag. It is something else. So for all of you that submitted 600 in week 1, you've got an entry. Or sorry, you're halfway to getting an entry. You're halfway to getting an entry. So you got to do it again in week 2 to get an entry to earn this bag. Then each additional 600 you submit above that will get you extra entries. All right. And then the other way you can get an entry is if you start a new recruit with 300 in net sales in week 1 or 2. So any of you that flipped a party last night or launched a new stylist and you submitted her sales and she had a minimum of 300 net or more, you are getting 10 bonus entries. If you want to increase your chances, that's a really smart way to do it. 10 bonus entries. Okay. You get 1 entry for doing 600 in week 1 and week 2. You're going to get 10 bonus entries for starting a new recruit with a minimum of 300 net. Does that make sense?
And you have to have sold the 600 in both weeks in order to get the bonus entries.
No?
Because you're calling, okay, all right. So you can not sell anything and
Yeah.
start someone with 300 net and get 10
Absolutely.
entries. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Okay, okay, good. All right.
So for those of you that didn't get 600 last week, this is how, thank you for bringing this up, Allie. This is how you could get 10 entries by starting and launching a new person with a minimum of 300 in net sales in week 2.
Huh, Tish, I wonder what you'd like us to go and do. It's very clear.
I just know that every single one of you that have brought along a team member, you have a lot more fun in this business. I just know that. I know that this business is a lot more fun when you bring along people with you. And my goal in life is to help you have a whole lot of fun with this business, because this business can be a whole lot of fun. So yeah, I'm really shining the light on you getting out of your comfort zone, opening these conversations. I wasn't here the first 4 minutes, so I didn't hear what you guys started it with, but I was on a Zoom actually with Sally and Amber right before this, which is why I was running 4 minutes late. But do we have a little bit, I don't know what else we're talking about today. Do we have a little bit of time where I could walk through what we talked about, which was the 3 steps to sponsoring a hostess?
Well, yes. I mean, that is golden. And then Allie and I can follow up because we actually have some really awesome stuff we're going to
We
talk
do
about.
have some freaking awesome
And-
stuff to talk about.
Just saying, but before Tish talks about that, can we just, I wasn't planning on this, but type in the comments, Tish is the best. Because guys, this woman, and she is my big sister, but I just have to say, her passion and desire and action towards supporting us and making this fun and joyful and exciting and like nothing I've ever, you can't experience anywhere else is it's just who she is. I'm just going to say the money she invests in this team, from a $1,500 Valentino bow or whatever that thing is, YSL, to images being created. And yes, as a leadership team, we invest. And yes, you guys donate on occasions, etc. But you don't know what goes on behind the scenes that this woman does to invest in this team. And so Tish, I know you don't like this kind of recognition, but I just have to say, Tish is amazing. And we are so grateful. People want to be a part of the Treasure Tribe because we have so much fun and so many great carrots and just an amazing visionary. So thank you, Tish.
Yeah.
Y'all
Now
are
tell us
so
how to
pretty.
sponsor.
You're so funny. I'm reading these comments. I like that I'm the bomb diggity. I totally own that. That is awesome. You guys are so sweet. That was very much not necessary, but I appreciate it. And it is, it is, I was giving this example. Okay. I'm going to go off on a tangent here for a moment. Sorry, sisters, but I was giving this.
Great. All of our content, we're going to have to save for next week. Just kidding.
I was actually sharing this example with Amber and Sally. So they've already heard this story, but I'm going to share this example with all of you guys. So, through, and you hear me talk sometimes about my mastermind group. So through the mastermind group that I'm in, I've gotten introduced to this gentleman who is a venture capitalist. He owns a hedge fund. He's a very fancy person. Okay. And I've now gotten to listen to him speak on 3 different occasions. And I've literally, every time he opens his mouth, I learned from him. Okay. He's a very interesting, fascinating man to listen to. I was watching this, and well, some of you may have been watching Netflix last night. I was watching this interview with this man. It was like an hour and a half. Okay. So like, it was a big time commitment, but I'm watching it because I'm totally fascinated by it. Like, it's just fascinating to me. And one of the things he said in the interview is that he has a goal to become a billionaire. Okay. I'm going to say that again. He has a goal to become a billionaire. Like, I don't personally know a billionaire, but now I can say when he becomes a billionaire, I actually know one billionaire. I don't personally have contact with a billionaire, but I've gotten a little bit of personal contact with this man. So his goal is to become a billionaire, and he wants to become a billionaire, not because he wants to have $1 billion. He's like, it's not about the money to me, because to be quite honest, like, when you have a couple $100 million versus $1 billion, like, there's not a lot of difference in lifestyle. And like, I can pretty much do whatever I want or desire, or, like, it's not about needing more money to have more things and do more things. Like, it's not that for me. I want to become a billionaire because, number one, I want to be able to say, you can be me, which is an average, hardworking, normal, Black man from Alabama who wasn't given anything but two hardworking parents who believed in education. A very normal person like myself can achieve this. And along the way, while I achieve this goal, I'm going to help hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other people build wealth, generational wealth, become millionaires, and change their lives. That's why I want to reach for this goal. Okay. And when he was saying this, like, in my mind, I was like, I get where he's coming from, because not that I'm reaching to be a billionaire. Like, that's actually not one of my lifetime goals, although it's kind of cool, right? But I have these big, like, I encourage you guys, like, dream blue sky big. Like, you dream bigger than what you think is possible for yourself, whatever that looks like to you. And different people measure it different ways. Success is measured different ways. All right. So whatever that means to you, I want you going for that. I have, like, in my mind, I have numbers that I reach for. I had a personal goal that I've worked to achieve for 14 years that I've now accomplished, that I wasn't able to accomplish at my previous company. And it's not because it's about the money for me. It's not that. Yes, money can help you make a difference in other people's lives. It can open opportunities and doors for my children. It can allow me to be, very giving in different aspects of my life and all of that. But it's not about the money. It's that while I'm working to achieve this really big goal, I am literally going to be able to change a lot of lives in the business that we're in. That's what it's about for me. And so I want each of you to be able to experience what that feels like at whatever level you want that to be for you. I know that when I bring a new person on board and I get to help them get started, and they get to, earn their first, $250 or $300, or, all of a sudden they're earning $300 to $500 a week. And they're like, I can't believe I'm earning this in a week. And I mean, I'm not leaving my house and I'm having so much fun when I'm doing it. Like, that feels so good to be able to have that impact on another person. And that's what I want for each and every one of you. And it's why I will continue to push you guys to reach for more if you have the desire. If you don't, then just shut my words out. Like, keep doing what you're doing, because we love having you here. But if you're like, I want to be that person, Tish, I want to be that person, then be that person. Make the decision. You're going to be that person, that you are not going to let fear hold you back or try to convince you that you don't need to go for that big blue sky dream. Don't let your mindset play games with you there. because we're all deserving of it if it's something that you desire. Okay. Decide to thrive. I love that. This is why we love when you speak. Oh, that's sweet, Amber. And yes, Kelly, you do. Like, the more money you can bring into your household, the more impact you can make, however you choose to do that. I've seen some of you are lining up Ukraine fundraisers like crazy right now. I know that has to feel amazing. It felt really great when I made my first donation this weekend to an organization to help Ukraine. It feels amazing. So you choose how you want that impact to be, but I know that we are with the right company, we have the right product, and we have all the tools and all the things. And the only thing standing in your way is you. It's the only thing. Only thing. All right. So I want to really quickly, and then I'm going to stop talking, but I was talking to Amber about this today because Amber is working towards Kona. Amber needs 2 more qualified stylists. Amber is, sorry, I'm putting you out there, Amber. Like, she's rocking it in the points department, and like, she's going to have the points. Like, we're not worried about the points, but she was feeling a little rusty. She's been getting objections. She feels like when she gets an objection, she doesn't really know, like, she's nodding her head. Like, she's like, I don't want to be pushy, all the things. So we were talking about sponsoring your hostesses. She says that she's presented the this or that, after the party, like, well, if you were to, be a hostess with this party, this is what you are getting. If you were to become a stylist and we flip your party, this is what you're getting. She said she hadn't had a lot of luck with that recently. So I told her, I said, I probably don't do a really good job of talking about this on a regular basis, but I feel there are 3 steps to sponsoring your hostess. Because you don't want the first time that they are hearing about this opportunity to be when you're closing that party, because it's a lot for them to process at that moment. It's like, oh, okay, so it's time to close your party, and we can close your party and you be a hostess and you're going to get this much in free jewelry. Or if you wanted, you could have a business and sign up and we'll flip your party. And then it's going to look like that. Like, it's just a lot to process all at once if that's the first time you're throwing it at them. All right. I've been guilty of it and I know it firsthand. But if you can plant seeds prior to, it can make then presenting that this or that a very different result. Okay. So when you start your hostess coaching with your hostess, drop a seed. Okay. It could be like on day 1, it could be on day 2, but you want to throw a compliment or seed at them in your texting, in your voice texting, however, on the phone with them, however you want to throw it out. Something to the effect of, oh, by the way, and we can talk more about this after your party, but I don't know if you've ever thought about doing what I do, but if it's something you're interested in learning more about, I'm happy to share more with you. We can talk more about it after your party, but I just wanted to mention that. If you think they'd be amazing because maybe you've met them as a customer, they love all the jewelry, they're like rocking it in the host department, you love their energy, you want them to be on your team, you want to be a part of their life, pay them the compliment. Like, for what it's worth, I think you'd rock it. If you're like, I don't know that they would be that way, maybe they would, I don't know them well enough, it wouldn't feel authentic for me to say that, then you just say, this business has been a huge gift in my life. It could be that it could be a huge gift in your life as well. But you just want to throw it out there. You kind of want to flirt with them about the hostess or about the stylist opportunity, throw it out, walk away. Okay. Like, when I used to do my parties in person, I'd mention it and then I'd kind of move on in my host coaching. You're not at that moment trying to give them a bunch of information. You're not allowed to, you don't do that, any of that then. Just throw it out as an option. Okay. Then maybe like the day of the party, the day of the live, you kind of bring it up again. hey, I don't know if you gave it any thought, if you've given this any thought. And again, we can talk more about it after the party, but like, watch me tonight. And if it's something you think you might be interested in, I'm happy to share more information with you. This has been such a huge gift for me, and it might be a gift for you as well. I love this business. I love doing parties so much. It might be something that would be really, be something you would love as well. Doing this business is simple and fun. It might be something that could be a great addition to your life. You're just planting another seed. Okay. Just throwing it out there. At that point, they're typically going to come back and say something like, oh my gosh, you are so sweet. I could never do what you do. I'm so busy. I don't know how I would have time to fit that in. Thank you. You're so kind to suggest, but like, I could never go live like you do. You know, you're so good at this business. I could never be as good as you. You know, I've tried these businesses before. I'm awful at selling. Like, you're going to hear some sort of objection typically with that second comment. The first seed you planted, they may be silent. The second seed that you plant, they may come back with something. Okay. And that's when, at that moment, depending on what they come back with, you say, oh my goodness, girl, I totally get how you're feeling. I remember feeling exactly the same way. This is what I found. That's when I use the feel, felt, found method. Feel, felt, found. Write that down. Feel, felt, found. If they come back and say, I don't know where I would find time to fit something else in my life. We were talking about Amber specific hostess that's this weekend. She is a hairdresser. She bartends on the side, and she sells antiques on the side. She's literally got 2 side hustles. So her response was, I don't know how oh my gosh, I don't know how I find time to fit something else in. And this is the thing, when I was talking to Amber about this person, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so impressed by this person. Like, she's already doing 2 other side hustles. She clearly has an entrepreneurial spirit to her. She doesn't know what she doesn't know. She doesn't know right now that when you do her party, the commissions on that party at 30% is probably going to be anywhere from $150 to $250. Like, right now, she doesn't know that. She doesn't know what she doesn't know. She knows she can barely keep her head above water because of everything she's doing right now. Maybe you could provide a simpler way for her to make more money that works better for her life. So I gave Amber some words that she could kind of come back with. Oh my gosh, I totally understand how you would feel that way. Yes, you do have a lot on your plate. I know when I was considering this, I was also concerned about it. But this is what I found. You know, once I realized how much I could earn when I did a party, it was all of a sudden something I wanted to make a little bit of time for, because it was worth my time. And it was way more than what I could make or doing anything else. So Amber's going to go back and kind of plant that seed, but we can talk more about it at your party, after your party. But I just was thinking about it, and I just wanted to, you know, share, like, it's so common for you to, it's very normal to feel that way. Many feel that way. And then she can come back after the party and say, okay, just again, no pressure, but 2 of your friends want to book a party. I'm happy to do their parties, happily. But if you're interested, only because I do think this could be an amazing gift in your life, as a host, you're going to earn this in free product. If you decided you wanted to sign as a stylist, this would be your commission. This is how much you get in free product. Your commission would cover your, you know, getting started kit. I just want to put it out there because I'm just really impressed by what you are able to do. And as a hairstylist, like, you're in front of women all day long. I think there'd be opportunity for you to sell jewelry to some of your customers, and you just never know what you could do with this. You make it very much about them. And I was telling Amber, it's kind of like with your kids. If you were to throw something out at them, like the first time, it's immediate, like, oh, because they have to process it. And you learn as parents, you get better at it. Like you drop seeds, you plant seeds, you let their little minds start kind of thinking about it, like envisioning it, gives them time to like process it. So then by the time you're coming in with that, this or that, it's not the first time that the idea has been suggested. What do you guys think about that?
Tish, can I interject? It's really funny you say that. So I have to give a personal analogy. So with my daughter, my 15-year-old, so she's not thriving in the school that she's in. And so I've been wanting her to make a change. And so she wanted to make a change, and her idea was me homeschool her. Okay, you all may be a homeschooler. This girl, no way, like no way. And nor does she need to be at home. That's not a good thing. But anyway, so researching schools, and her immediate reaction is, I'm not doing that. I don't have any friends, there. No. Okay. So I go and get a little information. I drop a few little hints or a few little seeds. We schedule a shadow day. The whole way there, she's like nervous as Nelly, her tummy hurts, all this stuff. She goes and she gets the information. Okay. She's not being told she has to go there. She's getting the information. She's listening to the opportunity call to make the analogy. And I go and pick her up. She has the biggest smile on her face. She's like, they were so nice. They were so nice. Now, I don't know if I want to go there yet, but they were so nice. And it's just interesting as to watch this transformation. And it's the same thing with our prospects. It is exactly the same. At first, it's no, or a lot of times. It's very rare that it's actually, type a 2 in the comments if you did not have an objection. Like there's very, very, very few that are like, I'm in. So it's a really good analogy, Tish.
Well, and I don't want to ditto. Amber, I appreciate you letting me use you as an example, but your example today was awesome. It's what everybody else deals with on a very regular basis. And I appreciated you, kind of admitting that you get stuck when you get that, like you're doing the steps and you get stuck and you kind of freeze when you get that objection, because you just want, you've got their best interest at heart, and you don't want it to come across as anything other than their best interest at heart. I think we all feel that way. And I think you build your confidence, and I don't want to say pushing, but kind of like giving your best advice as you are able to help more people see what this opportunity can do for them. And I just always go back to, if you haven't yet had the chance to do that, do you love being here? Do you feel it's a gift? Has it been able to make an impact in your life? And if it's like, yes, now all you're going to do is help others do that too.
Well, and Tish, the comments are maybe not an objection, but fear. And now that y'all are saying that, I typed here, that was my daughter's issue. I mean, she threw out random objections that were silliness, but it's fear. It's fear. Like, are they going to like me? Am I going to fit in? Am I going to have success? Am I going to have to spend a lot of money? It's like, but typically it's more, and this actually is exactly what Allie and I wanted to talk about, is belief in themselves. Most people will have more belief in others, more belief in a company than they have in themselves. And so that is really, and I would love to know for the Regina, I'm just looking at who said fear, Corey, it's really and those are just the 2 people that actually commented this. We all have this. It's the belief in you. Can I do that? Yeah, she can do it. Tish can do that, but can I do that? That's really the issue. Yeah, Elizabeth, you're exactly right. So Tish, can we dive into and I think we could do this pretty quick, Allie.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The only thing that I would add to Tish's, Tish, and I don't know, Tish, you might have said this. I think I took a picture. I don't know. Anyway, I got distracted while you were talking for like a split second, but utilize that video. You don't always have to be the one giving the answers. You don't have to be the one selling it, and so you utilize that interview. I mean, the videos that Tish gives. Someone I follow, when she talks about sponsoring, y'all, she's the top paid network marketer in the entire world. She's like, my team knows I train them to answer questions, not to give information. And so use the videos. If you find yourself trying to sell it, use the video to educate. Remember, conversation, you open the conversation, and then you give the education in the video, and then you can ask the questions and have that conversation that Tish is talking about, So, well, yeah. Okay. So I wrote down earlier when Tish said decide, and Christy's right. Like, we can be 100% grounded in the faith that we are with the best company ever. Like, who, type it 2 and 3 in the comments if you're like, I 100% know I'm with the absolute best company ever. Okay. Or there are many of you that love your career. Okay. Like Jessica Powers is like, I freaking excited to get up and do what I do every day. I love my full-time job. So give me a 4 if you love your career and you have faith that it's like, you have every faith in that. Right. Or, and I'm just going to say this, your creator, right? Whatever faith you have, it's blind faith, right? But like Christy said, we don't have that in ourselves many times. And isn't that messed up? I mean, I'm guilty of this, right? And so Tish was talking earlier about just deciding, right? And I mean, we have 3 stages. I heard this recently on a podcast, and we have 3 stages of belief. Okay. And so the first stage is Tanya 4444. The Chrissy said a 3. I don't remember if I said 3 or 4. So I'm not sure what 3 is and what 4 is now. But the first stage is faith. Okay. And I remembered I used to talk about I just remember some old conversations that I used to have with stylists from my previous team when we were hostess coaching for in-home parties. Okay. But the definition of faith, it's really easy, right? Whenever you think of, well, I know what faith means. Okay. It's easy whenever we can think of what we have blind faith in, right? Whether it be your God, this company, whatever. But when you think about the definition, Jesus, you know what I mean? But whenever you think about faith and what the definition is, it's hard for me to actually hear of a definition. And so, I mean, I heard this definition and this really makes sense to me. And when you can think of the definition, you can apply it to more places. So I liked this definition of faith is the ability to see something that has been told to you, but you haven't yet seen yourself. Right? Okay. So it's very easy to have faith in other things, right? But when we've never personally experienced something or seen something come into fruition for ourselves, we don't have the faith that it's going to happen. Okay. But we'll do it for other things, right? Parenting, who knows what they're doing? Nobody, but we do it and we do our best and we have faith that they're going to be fine. I mean, that's a perfect example, y'all. There is no manual. There is a manual for our business. You know what I mean? And I can have faith in Jesus and all the things. He's not going to book my parties for me, right? I can pray that the parties are going to come and y'all just laugh at me. Okay. I can pray that they're going to come, but if I don't have faith in the process, right? He's not going to call people for me. Hopefully he'll drop some seeds out there. But anyway, so the faith, the faith comes from, I have no idea if this is going to work, but they say it does. It's worked for a lot of people. I have to do what they have said to do. Okay. So that's the first stage, right?
Hold on, Allie, before you get on to the next stage, because I wrote down your perfect example of your conversation with Stephanie.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, you mean to tell it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was talking with Stephanie Compton, and I mentioned hostess coaching earlier today, and I totally forgot that I said that, but I mentioned Stephanie Compton and I were talking, I don't know, yesterday or the day before, and the Park Lane programs are amazing. Okay. So she promoted to area this last month. Okay. I am looking at her business. I understand the programs. Okay. So I see that we had this conversation earlier this week, and I said, okay, Stephanie, I want to talk to you about something. Mercedes car bonus program. Your team did 8,000 net and non this last month. Do you know, and you promoted to area. And I said, for Mercedes car bonus, it's 16,000. And she's like, she starts giggling. I'm like, she's like laughing on the phone at me. I said, I could ask you why you're laughing, but I know why you're laughing. You're laughing because you've been with 2 previous companies that never in a million years would you ever have imagined that you'd be earning a car program. And she's like, Allie, I never thought that I'd even promote to something like area. And first of all, that's why you can work with someone. Okay. Never just sit over there and isolate. Like Amber Glaze said, if you're not feeling strong about it, don't isolate, because you work with someone and then you can move forward. But that faith in, wow. So Stephanie is now like at the, okay, I have the faith. I'm now seeing some of these things that I've never seen before. Okay. The next stage is hope. Okay. The next stage is hope. And that's that stage of, okay, now I'm seeing that some things may come into fruition. One thing did. Now my hope has increased, right? And I now have higher hopes that things can actually happen, right? I'm not posting and praying. I'm doing the actions, right? And so you believe a little bit more. And then after that, you get to that belief stage. Okay. And you actually believe that what you're doing will have an outcome. So hostess coaching, I think, is like the perfect analogy for this. And when I was, oh gosh, I need to plug in. When I was doing, and when we were doing in-home parties, you guys, the hostess coaching was like 3 weeks long. Okay. There was a lot of like broken pipes. There could be broken arms. There could be big fights in the family. Someone could go on to, all the things could happen that would make a party cancel because they're having something in their house. Right. So there's lots of things that could cause an in-home party to cancel. So we had higher cancellations with in-home parties. And sometimes you were afraid to call a hostess because you were afraid some catastrophe had happened or just chaos. Like, every day there's chaos in our lives. And so I would liken hostess coaching, and it's the same as for in-home parties. I would liken them to faith. When you make a call, when you book that party with someone to go through the flow of the show, did you get an order in that first call? No. Whenever you send her the save the date and say, okay, so this is what we're going to do, send this to this many people. Did you get an order when you did that? No. 2-3 days later, when you open up the party and she starts inviting people to the group and you do that in a timely manner to where she can actually have time for the part, to get people in there. Did you get an order that day? No. Did you sponsor someone? No. Hostess coaching, each one of these steps, it's totally a blind faith that it's all going to make an impact on the outcome. Okay. So it really does start with faith. And so I don't know if you're there, Christy, interject if you want to, but I don't know if you're at the place where you're like, okay, I had high hopes for this year, but half my family has been sick. Then we have this, now we're going on spring break. And then I missed this and I got the dates wrong for this and whatever. And you're kind of losing a little bit of faith that what you do will have an impact on that outcome. Marcia, preach, Allie. That's funny. Just know that it will, but reach out. So Christy, I don't know, was there something that we talked about that
No, Allie did a great job. I think what she and I wanted to leave you guys with is that if you didn't do what you wanted to do in the first week of March, let's just start there. If you didn't do the 600, okay, as simple and basic as that is, don't give up. If you started this business with lots of faith and thinking, okay, like the person that brought me in, she's done this, she's done that, I'm excited about it. I see other people doing it. I have faith in them, not necessarily in myself, don't give up. The faith is where it starts. I've got faith that this could happen. I got faith that, other people are in the Mercedes, or other people, get 10 orders in a party, or other people sponsor. That faith is what then leads to the hope. I hope I can do that. I hope that, this will happen for me, but you've got to do the action and then perfect the action, perfect the skills, get better with time. And that will lead to your belief. Okay, I can do this. Okay, I did do this. And there will be little wins along the way. There'll always also be little bumps along the way, but that's the process. So you start with the faith, the ability to see something that you've been told, but you've never experienced. And that's what we all start with within this business. But sometimes it takes, not sometimes, it takes then going to, okay, I kind of believe this could happen. I got to do all these things. I may not see the results immediately. And then you get the belief that, yes, okay, this can happen. And yes, I can do this. So one of the things that we get told a lot is do the assignments we share, do the booking reach outs, do the almost said happy hours, power hours. They could be happy hours too. Do the power hours, do the stuff, do the assignments, do it messy. Do it messy. Don't have to be perfect. In this business, it actually is quantity over quality. So if you stop in perfection mode and think it's got to be perfect, you're going to miss out. It's not going to be that way. Do more quantity than quality when it comes to reaching out, because that's what always wins in this business. And also you'll learn along the way. You'll learn. I can't even imagine I'm glad I don't have record of what my reach outs were or whatever conversations when I was early in the business, but you learn along the way, and I'm sure I still screw up. But, and then as you go along, what we're also trained on is plan, do, and review. So plan what you're going to do, go do it, and then review what you did. Plan, do, review. Do again. Plan what you're going to do, go do it, review what I did. Did I get the results I want? That is how you build that belief.
And can I add something? When you're reviewing, if it's not working, reach up.
Mm-hmm.
Just reach up, because I've done, I do that, and I'm like, or reach to a sideline. I'll call Christy sometimes. I may call Sarah Clement. I'll call Sally. I'll call, this is not working. I need to go in a different direction. Because you know what happens when you keep doing the same thing over and over that is not working? You stop doing it and you don't do anything else if you don't reach out and get another idea, right?
But be coachable, you guys. Be coachable. Like, it's frustrating. I'm just going to say it, to talk to somebody and then say, oh yeah, I'm doing everything. And, I'm doing everything.
Mm-hmm. Done that.
I don't know. Maybe
Trish is laughing at us.
Trish is laughing because she's like, you do
real talk.
say that.
Real talk, right? Anyway, I've been that person. I think I did that last week to Tish. She's like, well, what about? And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. And then I think I'm actually planning it now.
I'm laughing because my sisters know, like, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I know there's always things I can personally do to improve. So when someone tells me that, like, I actually don't buy it. I'm just telling y'all, if you tell me that, I'm not buying it, because we can always get better. And I spent an hour on the phone yesterday with a team member. She's not in this group. And she had some frustrating parties in February. And so which is why Jerry Arnold is going to be doing this training again on Monday. I said, have you listened to Jerry Arnold's, because I was encouraging her to go to the multi-host party scenario. I was like, have you listened to Jerry Arnold's training? She said no. And I said, okay, so this is your assignment. I want you to listen to her training. So I pulled the link. I sent it to her. And I asked her to do this because I knew she would, because I knew she genuinely she's not telling me she's doing it all. She's actually saying, I want to figure out what I could tweak. So she went through it and she was like, oh my goodness, so many ahas, so many things I'm tweaking, so many things I'm changing. And she's been texting me all morning. She's gone from like 3 parties to 7 for March, like in less than 24 hours. She's on a mission. I said, we're going to turn this around. We're going to turn this train around. And just like Jerry says, when you're coming from this place of abundance where you don't have 3 parties for the month, because there's nothing wrong with having 3 parties. There's nothing wrong with having 3 parties. 3 parties is awesome. But if you have a couple of not great parties and you're having 3 parties, all of a sudden you're feeling like your business is down in the dumps. But if you had 6 parties for the month and a couple of them weren't as stellar as you'd like for them to be, you're still winning, because 4 were great and you were pleased with them. And then 2, you just wish they could have been better. When you're coming from this place of abundance, you're not nitpicking every single one if things aren't as perfect as you hoped and wanted them to be. So I'm such a believer that we can always improve. We can always tweak. Back to what they said, plan, do, review, constantly be reviewing what you're doing, what you could do a little different. Well, I mean, I did a party last night and I got 3 wish lists, and we only had 4 on the live. And I'm like, 4 or 5. I think we had 5 at one point. But I mean, there's 50 people in the group. I'm like, what? I'm not saying shame on that person for, I'm not placing blame. I'm actually saying, what could I have done a little different? Because I feel like I dropped the ball a bit on this one. I actually know I dropped the ball a bit on this one. So, you only do that once or twice, and then you're like, I got to turn that around, because I don't like how that feels. Because with 50 people in the group, I wanted 15 on that live, not 5, right? So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking.
Okay, guys, thank you, Tish. I know we're over time, so I think we just shut it down.
Was this good? Did y'all like this? We're reviewing the coffee chat plan. I hope we heard this yesterday and we thought this would be perfect to deliver. And Tish, thank you for sharing your sponsoring a hostess. I'm sitting over here thinking, I don't do a good enough job with planning, with training on these steps. And y'all, I'm just going to say, I rock in that area. And clearly, I mean, that's where most of my stylists come from, are through the party and by being a hostess. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm really good at that, but I need to train and make those steps replicatable. I need to do more of that. So thank you for sharing that, Tish. I actually took some notes. So I appreciate that.
We're always learning.
Okay,
all right,
y'all
guys,
are awesome. Thank you.
Have an awesome rest of your Thursday. Bye, guys.
Bye.